Hello everybody. I hope every one of you guys is having a very, very blessed day. I am doing all right today, guys. I wanted to apologize about the live yesterday. I didn't schedule it. It was something that you guys know that I've been working on for a while, trying to learn how to do it, but wow, I've been getting a lot of feedback on how to download the software. But a lot of stuff that I try to download, it takes me to another software that I have to download. It's just crazy. I think I'm going to have to upgrade my equipment sometime here soon. So next time I'll try to be more professional when I go live and try to give like a notice like what time I'm going to do it, so more people can participate, I can interact with and talk to. Anyway, guys, this is actually going to be part 2 to the vlog that I dropped earlier yesterday. Knowing your place or knowing your position as a stepdad. That's a real touchy topic right there, guys. I've gotten a lot of feedback and I appreciate you who actually gave me feedback. Also, happy Halloween to every one of you guys. I'm a little slurred today. It's been a long Tuesday at work today. It's just one of those crazy days. Any of you guys who work in a steel mill or do any factory work, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, guys, about the knowing your place as a stepdad. It's a very delicate situation. Again, I do want to apologize for the people who commented on this and I did not reply back, immediately to your comments. Sometime when you're at work, it's kind of hard to go in there and try to do something on the phone and try to comment without getting busted by the supervisor. Not supposed to have phones at work. Anyway, guys, I want to tell you guys a little bit about Damian Cryer. Before I got married, I was with another young lady. Well, actually, she was a little older than me. And she had kids. She had already had kids, pre-made family. And as far as like being a stepdad, you know, it was something new to me because it was something I had never done before. It was something I had never experienced before. So with that being said, I think as a stepdad, I went into the relationship kind of awkward a little bit because I had never did that before. You know, I come from a pretty decent sized family. My mom had 5 boys and 1 girl, so there were 6 of us. And I had a stepdad, but I've never, you know, back in the the late 90s was my first time experiencing being a stepdad. Anyway, the lady I was with, she had 5 children. I didn't have any kids by her. Again, she was a little bit older than me. I'll say 3 or 4 years older. And, you know, it was a heck of an experience for me because it's like, you know, you have kids that's already in school, kids that have to go to games, to the movies, they like to go to the mall. And it's like, you know, when you working and stuff, you know, you want to try to be there for them and always try to help out. You know, you want to try to fill the void that they're missing in their life. A lot of times, like when guys and girls break up or divorce, get married, separate, a lot of the guys don't come around a lot because they feel some type of way and they tend to forget. I won't say forget, I'll say that they tend to take their feelings towards the lady out on the children, where it's almost like the children gets punished. You know, the calls stop, the visiting stops. You know, I don't know about you, but sometimes, you know, we have to realize that we're not perfect people. We let our feelings get the best of us sometime. But anyway, that's a whole different subject. Being a stepdad for me was a really huge challenge. Because I realized, you know, no matter how much I worked, no matter how many bills I paid, you know, I knew that I wasn't the real biological dad. And it, you know, it's always an iffy situation. You know, you have to worry about, what happens when the real dad calls? and want to speak to the child, and the child hasn't heard from the dad in months. It's like, is he really calling to speak to the child, or he's calling because he wants to try to flirt with the mom or try to get back? You guys know what I'm talking about. You know how guys do that stuff sometimes. They'll try to use the child to try to get back in. You know, you haven't seen or spoke to the child in 7 or 8 months, and all of a sudden, you know, he finds out that she has a new man that's doing stuff, paying bills, treating her like a queen, and all of a sudden he wants to come back in and try to, you know, use the child as a crutch to get back in the door or whatever. Then it causes problems in the current relationship. So being a stepdad is a very delicate situation, as it is for being a stepmom. And I know you ladies are probably like, why does he keep saying stepdad? I'm going to get to those vlogs, but I want to top off on the being a stepdad, because again, like I said in earlier vlogs, we have to know our place, man. You know, when you accept the responsibility of loving the woman, you have to love the child. You have to expect the unexpected. One day when you make that child upset, that child is going to tell you that you're not my dad. And, you know, you have to be prepared for stuff like that. You know, a lady commented in one of the comments earlier on the earlier vlog of knowing your place as a stepdad, part 1, commented, and she had a very, very lengthy comment, which everything she said makes sense. It all depends on how the mom presents or introduces the new guy. You know, there's a professional way of doing it. You know, don't just let the guy just start coming over and hanging out and playing video games and staying the night, and the kids wake up and seeing some guy in your bedroom or walking around with pajamas on or in the shower. You know, there's a way to do things. You know, you have to present the new guy in a more realistic, more respectable way. A lot of times we take our own selfishness and we forget about the more professional things that we should do in more professional ways. You know, like going out to dinner, taking the kids to the movies, sitting down, talking to them, letting them know a little bit about yourself. That way, the kids don't think that my mom's just meeting this guy and he's cute and boom, he's my stepdad now, because that's not how it works. You know, in earlier vlogs, you might have heard me say that we've never been here before, so this is new to us. None of us are experienced, because if we were experienced in this field of life that we're in now, then we could approach situations a lot differently than we have in the past. You know, I had a lot of failures as a stepdad. I've always thought because I paid bills and I've always had that decent job that made me boss hog, and that's simply not how it works. You know, you have to realize that being a step parent comes with a lot of stipulations. It comes with a lot of rules. You know, and again, you're not going to like some of the things that's said or done. Moms are always going to protect their kids, and that's something that people need to respect. You would never ever put a woman against a wall or put her in a position where she has to make choices, because like I said in the last vlog, them choices you will not like. I made a lot of mistakes, guys. I've never put my hand on anyone's kids. I don't know if my exes watch my videos, but if they do watch, they'll probably concur with what I'm saying. I've never put my hands on one of their kids. Have I yelled at them before? Of course. Have I gotten upset with them when I asked them to cut the grass or take the trash out and they didn't do either? Of course I got upset. You know, arguments and stuff with the mom, you know, arguing with the child led to arguments with the mom. And then you feel some type of way because you feel like, well, man, you know, I live here, I pay bills, I do this and do that. You know, you should have my side. You should have my back. Well, sort of. If the child is in the wrong, yes, the mom should step in and say, hey, you know, you need to chill out, go to your room, you need to talk about this, and try not to let that stuff, you know, escalate. But I think for moms, it's not always good to side with your kids. If you know that they're doing wrong, you know, you need to let them know that they're doing wrong. You know, if you have a really good guy that's really trying and he's really there for you, you know, try to work with him. You know, that way that y'all can make the relationship work out. You know, don't always side with the child, even though that you know that the child is in the wrong. You know, and again, I'm not taking sides. I'm just saying, you know, my past experiences, like, I was never sided with, I was always sided against. And I'd always feel some type of way about that. So, I guess being a stepdad is really, really hard. You know, it's not easy and it takes work, but you can make it work. You can become a stepdad and still do disciplined things. But at the same time, you know, you don't want to always, like me, I guess my problem was I was always knacking. You know, I guess nitpicking that little small stuff. Like, I know the kids aren't going to make the beds up every morning when they're getting ready for school, especially when you have 4 or 5 kids, you have one restroom in the house, and everybody's trying to get in the restroom to get cleaned up. You know, you're going to always have that run in where the bed's not going to be made up. I'm the type of guy, I guess, I've always been the type, like, when I come home from work, first thing I do is I walk through the house. I'm like, okay, so I'm the first one home, so the central air is still running. It's been running all day. Nobody's here. Open the bedroom doors, 3 bedrooms, the televisions in the rooms are on, and the beds aren't made up. So I'm like, wow, you know. So I find little stuff to nitpick about, you know, but to me it was something serious because it's like, well, you know, central air running all day, television's on, it's running the electric bill up. You know, when it always became like an issue, you know, or if I say something to the mom or something, there was a big argument or something. And I'm not saying anyone particular, I'm just giving an example of my past before I got married. Then there were situations where, like, you know, why wasn't the beds made up? Can you talk to me about making the beds up? Try to keep the area a little bit more cleaner, you know, or taking the trash out. You know, you know, us as dads feel like that. Well, if we actually take the trash out, you should be able to take the trash out, and I shouldn't have to come home and do it all. Or washing the dishes. So that's always like a problem with being a step parent. You know, because you have to always realize, man, that, you know, you have to watch what you say, because you come into a relationship where a woman has younger kids, and then you do dumb stuff throughout the relationship as years go by. And then one day those kids get older, you know, and they don't forget. They don't forget. They'll actually call you out on it. So you want to always try to do things the right way. Try to work things out, you know, and if you can't work it out, then maybe you should reconsider not living in the same house. Because as adults, as married people, as separated people, as single people, we have to make responsible decisions. If you're having problems as a stepdad with your significant other's kids, and you can't find a positive resolution to it to resolve the problem without it getting violent, without the kids looking at you and not really wanting to respect you anymore, some relationships do work if you live apart. You know, I've never tried that before. But some relationships do work when you live apart, because, you know, you're not actually in the same house living together, which means you're not around each other 24/7. And it would actually give your girlfriend or your female friend a chance to get away from home, you know, sometime to come and be with you at your place, and vice versa. You know, that way you're not always around the kids, but you have to always take the woman's feelings into consideration, because sometimes she may have homework that she has to do with her children. She may have parent-teacher conferences that she has to attend. She may have to, you know, soccer games or meetings that she has to attend, go to the dentist, doctor appointments, a lot of stuff that us dads don't really do. So we have to always be considerate. So sometimes it works good if you live apart. So if you try to live together and it doesn't work, always, you know, you can always try living apart. I'm not a professional at being a stepdad, but I can tell you I have been a stepdad. So I can only give you my experiences and what I had to do, you know, and I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. You know, I mean, I've always tried to be a good stepdad, but I think I made some poor decisions in the process of it. Again, we're not perfect people. You know, there was arguing, there were you know, it was cussing, and there was all kind of dumb stuff. And when I look back, to the late 90s when I became a stepdad for the first time, I look back and I ask myself, what things could I have did differently? And I think one of the things that I could have did differently was maybe been a little bit more patient. Because when you dealing with a woman with kids, man, you have to be patient. You know, it's not something that you're gonna, you know, you can't expect for children to adjust to a new man. You know, first of all, you know, they don't want to see you. They want to see their mom and dad, regardless what the situation is. And with that being said, it's going to take time for them to adjust to you as a person, to get to know who you are. You know, here you are, a new face now. You're coming around, you're taking mom out. And kids going to always be overprotective, the same way that a mom is going to be overprotective. So I guess that's something that we have to, you know, try to understand and be more patient about. You know, so I guess the best thing to do is, if I had to do it all over, I wouldn't have rushed into the living in thing so quick. I guess, as they say, the flesh is weak, and when it's good, you want to be around them people all the time. So anyway, guys, this camera battery, I didn't charge it up before I went to work. So I'm going to end this vlog right here, and there is going to be a part 3 to knowing your place as a stepdad. So I hope that this message helps somebody out who's new at this or who's going through this. I would really appreciate the feedback, because this is something that I really want to hit on before I go into being a stepmom. You know, so you guys give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys think about this vlog. And don't hesitate to leave comments, man, because, you know, I may not be able to answer them right then and there when you comment, but I will answer those comments. No, again, it's a delicate situation. You know, we have a lot of marriages and separations and stuff right now. People separating or breaking up because, you know, they making poor decisions as step parents. You know, you can make this work if you really wanted it to. I'm not saying that you have to sit back and take it. Negative things that come your way, you know, but you can make your relationship as a step parent work if you really, really want it to. So I guess that's what I want to kind of talk about in the next couple of vlogs. Because there's things I wish that I would have did differently. And maybe in the next vlog, I will tell you how I feel about my separation from my wife, which I think is 28 days now, and we'll be actually divorced. Tell you about how I feel about not being in my son's house anymore, and how he's probably going to be having a stepdad pretty soon, and how that's probably going to affect me, and how I'm gonna feel about that. So, but that'll be sometime later on. Like I said, it's a slow process. You know, nothing happens overnight. But it's like I have to mentally prepare myself for, I guess, somebody else telling one of my kids what to do, and, you know, how do I think that person will react to my child if my child mouthed off, or, you know, it's always a scary thing, you know. So, but anyway, guys, I won't continue boring you with this bop, but I hope each and every one of you guys enjoy this vlog right here. Again, it's a very, very sensitive subject, but you know what? It needs to be talked about. It needs to be addressed. You know, if it's something that we can say that can help somebody else out to not tear their friendship apart, relationship apart, you know, it's something that I want to talk about, something I want to address. You guys know what type of person I am. The last few months, you know, I'm a real person. I shoot straight. I don't shoot sideways. I shoot straight. I come straight for the topic. So I'm going to talk to you guys in a little bit. You guys have a very, very blessed evening. If you're in Indiana, before you go outside, be sure you put a coat on, because it is cold out there. I will talk to you guys later on. Until next time, I'm Damian Cryer. Thanks for watching. Peace.